previous episode recorded with Lee Brovedani, our trust architect, she gave us such good information about the importance of clear communication and asking for what we need and what we want in these environments at home when our partners are maybe just getting too in our space and we need a little time away. This is hard for some people. So what advice would you have for setting up these conversations to have a sit down with your partner or your kids?
Okay, well, the first thing I want you to do is to spend some time figuring out what it is you want to say to them. I also want you to go back and remember a time when you were able to communicate what you needed at a time. And there should have been, I know that if you go back through all of the times that you've lived and the times that you've had a conversation where there was one conversation that went really well. And I want you to relive that and remember what it was that you did. And then use that knowledge, what it was that worked, to repeat it in this particular situation. I want to tell you a little, it's a little fable, and it was a person talking to a wise man, and he said, why do people shout at each other when they have a problem, especially when they're really close? And he said, when our hearts are very close, we whisper to each other because our hearts can hear each other, which is why lovers talk softly. They know that their heart speaks to another. And when our hearts are really far apart, we have to shout so the other person can hear us. So the louder we talk, it means that our hearts are farther apart. So if you can just think of that for a moment and think of when you bring your voice down and you talk quietly and you let your heart speak to the person, you don't need to yell. You can let your heart tell their truth and you can say it quietly. And so you just need to bring yourself into that heart feeling and let your heart speak to theirs.
So this could be maybe flashing back to the early days of a relationship, when things were, the honeymoon phase everybody refers to, back when things were generally going really well, before the conflicts arose, that sort of thing. So that really makes good sense. That could be a strategy that could work. Any other advice for people who know that they need to communicate some things with their family members, but it's one more thing to stress about on top of all the other things that everybody's stressing about right now?
You know what I'll do for you too, Lisa, and I hope they've got, I'll send it to you, and it's how to have those difficult conversations. And so it's a worksheet. And
Great.
Honestly, I've used it. And so when something is really important and I don't know what to say, I will actually pull it out still and I'll work through exactly what I think all the problems will be. So it's from my point of view, their point of view, and an outsider's point of view. And so when I put that together, I look at what is the best possible consequence of having this conversation. And if all I can think of is so I can show them that I'm right and they're wrong, then don't have the conversation. That's not a good outcome. The best outcome is one where everybody understands and you walk away having a deeper understanding of each other.
Beautiful. On that note, we'll wrap up this edition of the Help and Healing Hangout with our thanks to Lee Brovedani.